Hi, my name is Jessup Tiedekin. I'm a student at San Francisco State University studying international relations and French. And I just finished my sophomore year of studies at Aix-Marseille Université studying French language and culture. This campus is based in the southern city of Aix-en-Provence in France, about 760 kilometers south of Paris. Now, growing up, I always knew that I wanted to study abroad, and I studied French in high school, so it was natural that I picked French as my study abroad country. Going to San Francisco State University my first year, I immediately started doing research in order to figure out how I could study abroad, and eventually chose Aix-en-Provence. While doing this research, I had Aix and Paris to choose from, and my study abroad advisors at San Francisco let me know that Aix was possibly a more ideal place for a first year of studies in French language and culture. That's because even though Aix-Marseille University is the largest francophone university worldwide, its French language for foreigners department, Service Universitaire de Français Langues Étrangères, or SUF, has relatively small classes and a faculty specialized in teaching students from all over the world. And this really creates a very international environment where I ended up meeting students from all over the world, different countries such as Spain, Germany, regions like the Middle East and China. So that was a really great experience. Now, rewind back to San Francisco State University in my first year of studies. I got my approval from my major and general advisors. I turned in my application and I had my interview on campus at San Francisco and then was accepted to the CSU IP program. Now, I ended up arriving a little bit later in France than scheduled. This was due to visa processing delays I had at the French consulate in San Francisco. Normally, students arrive 1 week ahead of their 3-week intensive French language classes, known as the PLP, or preparatory language classes. These classes prepare you for your upcoming year of study, and students also have the chance to find an apartment in those first coming weeks. Now, even though I did arrive a little bit late, everything turned out perfect. I found an apartment in the center of Old Town in Aix-en-Provence, above the shoe shop that my host family owns. And it's just a few minutes walk away from the CSU IP office, and about 15 minutes away from campus. Now, normally, those PLP classes that I talked to you about, they last 3 weeks. Because I arrived late, had just a couple days of those classes. And I will be completely honest, coming that late was pretty intimidating. However, everything turned out fine. I was initially placed at an A2 level, which is a beginner level for French in those PLP classes, but was bumped for the first semester into B1+, which is an intermediate advanced level. So that was really great. Also meant that my first semester was pretty hard and challenging, but also incredibly enriching. Personally, I felt that at the B1+ level, I was a little bit under it in the beginning of the semester. However, these professors here at Aix-Marseille University expect a lot from us and didn't let anyone fall behind. And this helped me progress enormously in the first month or so that I was here in France. Now, the way these classes worked is that I had a core language class. This class took up most of my hours during the week, and it included studies in grammar, written expression, oral expression, written comprehension, and oral comprehension. On top of that core language class, I had elective courses. These elective courses counted for fewer hours during the week, but I had more of them, and they included different topics and titles. However, they still were heavily language-focused and driven. And, this is an academic year abroad, so of course I had homework. I had about an hour or two a day, but the homework was interesting. I did projects, presentations, I wrote different types of paper. So, that variety kept me motivated and inspired throughout the semester to keep up with my studies. Now, second semester, I placed into the B2 level, which is an advanced intermediate level. This included refinement of my skills and knowledge of the French language, and it really gave me the ability to be precise within language and learn how to express myself with complexity. I also had elective courses during this second semester at B2. However, I felt that the B2 level courses were less of cultivated language courses and truer academic topical courses that just happened to be taught in the French language. I really loved this. Two of my favorite courses that I took the second semester were Greek mythology and literature with an emphasis on important women's roles, and literature and historical politics. Thanks to these elective courses, my core language and my core language classes, I truly became comfortable with the French language this second semester. And this also contributed to the extracurriculars that I took part of at the university this second semester. First of all, I played for Aix-Marseille Université, their American football team. American football in France, I know. So this was a great experience because one, I got to play a sport that I love. Two, I was the only English speaker on the entire team of maybe 40 kids. So I got to practice my French and play football. I was also able to make up any classes that I missed. The professors were really flexible, so flexible that they even moved one of my oral finals for me so that I could play in a game, which we won 54-6. And speaking of this whole football experience, I will ask you to wish us luck, as from 1 week from today, I will be filming, from 1 week from today, I'm filming this video. I will be in Paris playing in the French University's national championship. And if we win that game, it will be the first time that Aix-Marseille Université brings home an American football national championship title. So that's really exciting. On top of those university extracurriculars, I also took part in the CSU IP program activities. This included going to Le Grand Théâtre de Provence to see different plays, taking cuisine or cooking classes, tasting French wine and cheese, and traveling to French towns and landmarks in the region. And I really feel as though I've become a more knowledgeable person academically and culturally during this year abroad. Now, because of all of that, I elected to do a second year here in France. I applied to CSU IP again and got selected. So I will be spending a second year in France, this time in Paris at one of the universities in the city. And it truly only seemed right to spend a second year in France. First of all, taking these courses at Aix-Marseille Université really allowed me to finish most of my French degree. So, I'm done with that, and I will be continuing my second year pursuing courses in Paris for my international relations degree. Secondly, my language level is at the point where I can truly become fluent and competent. I feel that another year here in France is the next step to becoming academically and professionally fluent. I'm also used to the university system here now in France. I have an idea of how this university system works after this first year of studies. It includes the system here is a little bit more independent. You have to figure things out for yourself as a student. And now that I understand it and I'm used to it, I feel that I can really excel next year in Paris at a university. As far as my career is concerned, I want to work at a federal agency. And another year here in France really diversifies my resume and candidacy when applying to those positions later in life. It gives me essential world knowledge and experience that's really important for that career path. And lastly, and maybe most importantly, why not? I may not ever again have the opportunity to live in the world-renowned city of Paris. I'm young, I have the energy, and I really feel as though I have the world at my fingertips, so it's up to me to take advantage of that now. As far as the next step to getting to Paris, I have to renew my visa to stay a second year in France. I will be doing that at the consulate in the US, as I will be going back to the US to visit friends and family over the summer. After that, I will have an interview in the next coming weeks with MISEPA, the partner program that is helping me in Paris. I will pinpoint in that interview which Paris university fits me best. And then next, I just have to go. So, I truly am beyond excited to spend a second year in France. Thank you for your attention. Thank you to CSU IP for this opportunity in France. And thank you to my resident director, Dr. Luda Popenhagen, for her assistance this year and in preparation of this video. Merci pour votre attention. Je vous souhaite bonne continuation et bonne semaine. Au revoir!